Flatten it out a little bit. How about right there? Right there's good. Go, go.
Let's go! What now?
All right, welcome to 3 Mississippi. I'm Mike.
I'm Frankie.
It is currently 93 degrees in Northeast Mississippi and 93% humidity. Feels like the surface of the sun. So today we are dealing with the heat and trying to do something with this garden. As you can see, this giant weed patch behind us. We had a lot of issues early this year with the garden. We had the goats getting out. They decimated most everything I planted early. I do have a harvest of garlic that came out of here, or that's ready to come out of here, but other than that, the garden just got absolutely disrespected this year. It's time right now to really be focused on getting some things planted if we want to get anything for fall, any of that fall squash, you know, melons. So we're like kind of scared to get started on this project because I let it get so bad, but we're going to get started on it. And we got a lot of things to do today. We're going to see what we can get done in the garden. We have some maintenance down here in the yard, and we got a couple areas of fence that Beulah is stretching out pretty bad because we spaced our T-posts way too far. So we're gonna have to add some T-posts. We're supposed to pressure wash the front of the house, and we're still trying to get something started in the shop. We got walls that we have to build before we can get the electrical in there, and we're trying to get the electrical in there before Freedom Weekend. So I don't know what we're gonna get done today, but we also have 20 birds in a cooler that Sid killed yesterday, and Frankie, that we have to get parted out and put in the freezer today. So yeah, it's gonna be a long day, y'all. Watch for snakes, Frankie.
What's the plan if there is a snake?
Huh?
What's the plan if there is a snake?
That pitchfork's the plan.
Well, that's a bad plan. Snakes are way faster than me. It's hot. It's slow.
All right, Frankie, start getting in that grass and looking for, there's some reason I mowed around this. Oh, here we go. Oh, all these. Start getting all these out of here. Actually, that's gonna be, you're gonna need to do that with your hands. It does not take long for Mother Nature to reclaim.
All it takes is Mississippi weather. Well, that's not nice.
All right. You make sure there's nothing else in there that I can hit with a mower, please.
I will try my best.
Frankie,
Yeah.
can you pull this hose back onto the black tarp and figure out what's in those high weeds right there that's prevented me from mowing?
Yeah, T-posts. T-posts that you made me put there that now you're probably gonna make me move again.
Yeah, you're gonna pull them right up along this fence line where I just mowed.
It's a pony. She's got all sorts of...
Well, you didn't see it while you were trying to lift those
I saw
up?
that small piece, but I couldn't tell that was like a whole panel.
All right, get off the tractor and help me stack these up on there. Some of these ones on top are gonna have to come off.
Can't do anything from that. I know, Beulah. She is angry. I can relate.
These ones right here that are sideways and on top, pull those off. Pull it tight.
Hold on.
So now you're gonna go find the middle and stretch it tight. Hey, 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 pay attention.
It's fine. Don't be like that.
Give me this, don't let go of that yet.
There's a bird. Nope, not a bird.
Okay,
Lost
go
it.
find the middle, stretch it tight.
Hey, I'm going. You forget I've already folded 2 of these by myself. You didn't bring anything to put this on, did you? No problem.
All those other conduits on there too.
Okay. Does he never say? He never show up.
Trying to get snake bit.
In a cup and I'll give it again. Yes, I know.
brake on.
Hey, baby. How about a friend? Yeah, yeah, pretty baby.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
Why am I so sticky? Oh.
We're going to set that pallet down as close to the fence as we can. Not too close to where I mowed. I need to be able to get the mower in there to where I stopped mowing. So come back about 6 feet, set that down, and then move both of those stacks of pallets over here beside it, and then move that pallet over here beside it, and those T-posts, or those posts.
Okay.
Nice and neat.
Make no promises.
thing cuts pretty fast.
I don't know if y'all can hear in the background, but they're still down there by the garden messing with the tractor. We had all the implements kind of parked along the back garden fence, and obviously with all the rain and then heat we've had, like every other day, it's been alternating between rain and then like this really hot and sunny. The grass has just gone crazy, and so has the what is supposed to be the garden. So in between all that, that's one of the reasons why things have gotten behind in the garden, is because we had just every other day rain, so he couldn't fix things in the garden because it was just sludge and mud, and then hot the next day, but then he also has work, so you know, we have to work around life schedule, and sometimes that gets us behind, but that is what it is. So yesterday, I thought I'd take this opportunity to like show you guys, well, Frankie and I did it yesterday. Y'all know we have Cornish cross out in the pasture. They had some that was just, they were big, right? And I was gonna do them like 2 weeks ago, okay? Like right when we got back from Arkansas, I was gonna do them. But our plucker, this bad boy, was down for the count. The housing unit for the motor down here, when the plucker cords had been chewed through and we had to replace everything, Mike had to take this all apart to fix it, and he didn't have any silicone, basically like caulking around the outside of it. And so it was working, but then partway through using it, it tripped the GFI that it was plugged into. So I had to do the last couple birds by hand, but that day. But then he was working on getting this fixed, but he wasn't sure if that was the only issue. So we had to like take it all apart, dry everything really well, put fans on it. Anyway, he fixed that for me. And so it worked great. Frankie and I were able to get 20 birds out of the pasture, the big lunkers, which was great. And we had a good assembly line going. She doesn't like doing the actual processing, the actual slaughter, if you will. So she would go catch 5 birds at a time for me, bring them back up in the side by side. She'd put one over here in the cone for me, and then I would do the slicey slice, and she would hold the neck so it wouldn't staunch it back up and do that, while I would go back to the next bird that was on the table and finish eviscerating, and then she would scald it over here and then throw it in the plucker. Obviously, we've broken everything down. We cleaned everything up afterwards. So, you know, this week we've got what, like 2 weeks before we have Sip of Freedom weekend, where we have a lot of the family, which is other YouTube channels, coming over here to basically camp out and hang out for 3 days and celebrate America and friendship and fellowship. And so we have a lot that we want to get done on the property and kind of taken care of. And with, you know, Mike was down for the count for a little while. I was down for the count for a little while. Thank you, Jesus. I've been feeling better and I've been mobile, and I still have to be careful of certain things I do. But for the most part, I'm upright, as you can see. I'm walking and I'm not hurting like crazy, which is amazing. I prayed a lot about it in the last couple weeks, because I was like, I have to get this under control. You know, I've got animals counting on me. I got people counting on me. I got to get this under control. So I was super, super happy. Frankie and I banged those birds out really fast. I mean, it took us longer to set up and break down and clean everything up and take everything to the compost, the feathers down, and you know, get the guts out and all that, you know, down to the trash and all that stuff. So, but this cooler, I got a gas can on it to keep it happy, but in fact, I just drained a little bit of the water. Okay, like that, I probably shouldn't have lifted the way I lifted it. But anyway, it's fine. It's just fine. Just don't tell anybody. Shh, it's fine. Okay, so I got my cooler full of birds with lots of ice in there. We stole some ice from our friend's ice maker last night because we went over there for dinner, and we filled up a big trash bag full of ice, because ice isn't cheap. So I think one of our next kind of purchases eventually is going to be an ice maker, because whenever we process animals, we end up spending so much money on buying bags of ice for the cool down process that it's ridiculous. Not so much during the winter when we're doing deer, obviously, because it's cold out, but when I'm doing birds during the summer and they need to rest on ice for a while before we can break them down or bag them. Again, shouldn't have lifted the gas can, but it is what it is. Oh, got a whiff of the gas. I might have spilled some of it. but anyway, that is good that that's done. Mike's plan tonight was, after we worked outside today, to get in there and break some of them down. I have a feeling that might change now. He may not end up doing that now. One of our neighbors just came over. I can see him down here now. And so he may not end up getting to that. Or if he does, it'll be after I've checked out, because my day, generally I start my day earlier than Mike, but Mike likes to end his day later than I do. So, you know, today was Sunday, and I got up, took care of the animals, did a bunch of stuff. I had some issues to deal with in the coop the last couple of days, because I had some girls sitting on clutches that one of them kind of half abandoned them, so I had to clean out a bunch of eggs, and some of the eggs had fallen behind the nesting box because of life. Anyway, I had to clean out a bunch of stuff and take a pile down to the compost, and we were gonna move the poultry fence today and shift it over here. But I have a feeling that's not gonna happen now till next weekend, just because of how things are going today. And then I had to come out here. That's one of the reasons why I walked away while they were switching all the implements on the tractor after doing everything else, was Kusi, our outside livestock guardian dog, he had a little irritation. He'd scratched his eye or something, and he was due to go to the vet for his rabies shot, which that's, you know, with him being out here with raccoons and possums and whatever else, and that he could be getting into it with, I feel like it's real important to keep him up on that. Specifically, and he was due for like his lepto and stuff like that, so stuff that's important if he's gonna be around livestock. Anyway, so he had to get his updates on that, and I was switching his like tick med or whatever too, so they were checking him. But anyway, I had to get some eye drops for him, because poor little baby had a little, like almost an eye infection. It was irritated and like kind of was having some discharge, and it just happened that started right before I had to take him to the vet. So that was good. And Frankie, and I didn't film any of that, but Frankie and I went together and we actually took Kusi and Lundy to the vet. And Lundy had a little bit of like a wax buildup in her ear that had gotten irritated. It wasn't a full-on infection according to the vet, but it was bothering her, and she was doing this. And so she put some medicine down in there and cleaned it and flushed it out and did all that good stuff. But his eye looks so much better. I don't know if y'all can see, but I just gave him his next dose of drops, and so they're kind of snoozing out here. And we moved, you know, we got that other dog house moved in here. It was one of those things that every time I'm like, hey, can we move that dog house? The forks weren't on the tractor, and we were about to do something else. But anyway, we got that other one in here now. So the goats and the dogs and whoever can use it, and they're kind of just figuring that out. So it's been a long day, guys. We were out a little later last night at our friend's house than I planned, after processing birds all day and doing a bunch of cleaning and stuff out here. And I feel like I think I maybe got about 4.5 or 5 hours of sleep last night, and it's been go, go, go all day. We had church this morning, which I almost didn't go to because I was just whooped this morning. And I hurt my foot yesterday while I was doing dishes at a friend's house. I kicked a cabinet that was open, and it went right into my foot, like on the top of my foot between my tendons. And so that wasn't pleasant. So when I got up, I could hardly walk, but it's so much better now. I can walk. It's a little sore, but it's not too bad. So anyway, I did go to church. I ended up having to do announcements because my girlfriend, who normally does announcements, wasn't gonna be in that morning. So it was a good thing I went. And it's always a good thing to go to church, of course. I try not to miss, you know, but every once in a while something happens and you're not up to it. But since then, it's been go, go, go. We've been working out there. It's been super, super hot, guys. Today is one of those days where you're like, oh, it's warm. And I got a bunch of stuff I want to get done tomorrow, part of which is working on this video that I'm filming right now, and get that turned around for you guys for Tuesday this week. And then this week, I gotta hit it hard, guys. I gotta attack some of the ant hills that are in the front because we're gonna have people in RVs and tents out there, and they don't wanna be putting their tent up on an ant hill. So I gotta spray all that out there, and a couple spots back here where we're gonna be hanging out. And I've got there's some stuff, well, he's got some things in totes. The stuff that's in the totes is trash, but he used the totes to move stuff. So I gotta clean all that out. I'll make a burn pile at some point this week when it's not too windy. And I got some like fallen branches and stuff and whatever that I'll throw in there that need to go, and some cardboard boxes and fun stuff like that, some just general cleanup, and then some stuff like that in the garage that I need to clean up and work on. So, and he's gonna be working all this lumber that you see here that we just got. That's all going for in the shop, which I haven't showed you this, guys, just yet. Let's go take a look. Let's go take a look. I will show you this though. So one of our issues last year was we didn't have enough refrigerator space for all of Mike's produce for farmer's market. Well, obviously this year, with what happened between Mike being injured for a little bit and the weather being what it was and his schedule being what it was, he wasn't able to get things in the ground as fast as he wanted. So that's why they're out there working today. But it should have been in the ground a few weeks ago already. But you know, sometimes things happen and you just got to roll with it. But we had ordered this fridge, and I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is how it arrived. It's got a big old juicy dent right here, so much so that, see if you guys can see how the door don't close so pretty good? That's gonna let all the cold air out. You know, your mom and dad would yell at you, you're letting all the cold air out. Well, that's exactly what would happen. So I immediately got on the phone with Home Depot for a return. I had to haggle with them a little bit because they were gonna take it back, but it was like a whole thing. Anyway, I also really wanted it here for Freedom Weekend. It may not be, the new one may not be here in time now for that. We'll see. They're gonna hopefully come pick it up this week now too. And hopefully come get it before the new one gets delivered, because it's like we don't have all this room to just stick giant refrigerators everywhere. But that's what's going on with that. I don't think, I don't know, man. I think I did end up getting an extra discount on it because I wasn't being a Karen. I was very nice, but this is the freezer you guys may remember that we got a couple months ago. When it arrived, it had a big gouge on the side. It was purely cosmetic. We didn't really care, but the delivery people were like, let me take a picture of that. I'm gonna submit that to corporate. They'll be in touch with you in a few days. Well, I didn't hear from them. I reached back out to them and they were like, there's no record of that and it's past the 48-hour window. So we can't give you a discount or compensate you. I don't care what they told you in person. So I'm like, great. So I reiterated that about this, and I had to haggle with them a little bit because they only wanted to give me a 10% discount, and I said, 15 and you've got a deal, because this is a pain, because we actually unloaded this off the truck. They did not take it off the truck. And that was obviously not when it was injured, but before they even had it all the way off the truck, they were pulling the truck out. Like they were just like, drop it and go. Didn't give us time to inspect it, nothing. So anyway, I got them finally after 2 hours via text support, got them to agree to the 15% off, because I felt like after all that time on this and the inconvenience that they could kick down an extra 5% and it wouldn't kill them. So there we go. But anyway, so this project right here, they're getting this all foam sprayed in, and Mike borrowed a tool from our neighbor that he's gonna be able to drill through the concrete because he's making walls up here. That's what that all that wood is for, so he can put in the electric box. Hopefully he'll be able to kind of work on that some more this week, because that's a project obviously he can work on in the evening in here with or without Frankie. So, and Frankie's gonna be gone most of this week. She's got a bunch of FFA stuff for state officer stuff and state star, and so we're kind of at the mercy of that this week as well. So lots going on, and I'm feeling the crunch of hosting everything. There's a lot of stuff that I want to get cleaned up and kind of straightened up that we're working on. So I'll definitely be doing a burn pile. And I'll definitely be working on cleaning the garage. Mike has promised me he's gonna finish, what do you call it? Pressure washing the front of the house for me, because He's got it like half done, but he's got a ways to go still. So he promised me he'd do that, and then we're gonna move the porch swing, and I gotta move some things on the porch so it's like a nicer little sitting area, because right now we've got the porch swing down because after doing the gravel, which still needs a little bit spread as you can see, but again, it rained every other day, so we've had to wait and then work on it and then wait and then work on it. So maybe Friday's video will be more about the electric going in the shop and getting those walls framed in for that. I think they're going to be able to get that worked on this week. Fingers crossed. And like I said, I'm attacking the ants, I'm attacking the burn piles and collecting some of the brush to burn. And I'll be getting after some of that this week, which I may or may not film some of that, because honestly, spraying ants and doing some of that stuff's kind of boring, but we'll see. I might film a couple clips here and there just to throw in, so people can't say that I don't do anything, because they just see me. It's too hard when I'm trying to get stuff done fast for me to film it and do it in a timely manner when I'm also trying to do everything else. So I don't know, it is what it is, but we appreciate you guys. Mike's gonna make some more progress on this in the next little bit here. He got a lot done cleaning up the edges. Obviously they're just putting the tiller on now, so get that tilled and he'll be ready to start rocking and rolling before too much longer. As always, guys, we appreciate you. Stay blessed, and remember, safety's off. Making that trash pile disappear. And last night we ended up having some pretty decent thunderstorms, but before it hit, I think it hit about 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. He did manage to get these 2 rows tilled up, which obviously I did not get any footage of. He was sort of hanging out here with his buddy while he was working on that. And he did last night manage to break down a few chickens and get those in the fridge. And he started a thing of stock, which I turned back on this morning. So progress was made.